Hello everyone, this is Cressel Snapdragon back again with more ASTELLIA. I am still level grinding, as you can see. I am still not even in the 30s yet. It's taking quite a long time, but you know, still trucking along, if you will. This game is honestly incredibly gorgeous, and a while ago I decided I wanted to make a Let's Play when it first released here in the West. It's one of the most enjoyable games I've played with regards to its companion system, which as you can see are these, I guess you'd call them beings, known as Astels. I really like the mix of Astels that you can find in this game. As far as the level grind goes, definitely not one of my favorite. It's sort of a hassle and it takes forever. So a quick note before we really get into this video, if you're one of those people that likes to grind it to endgame really fast, may not be the game for you. But as far as gameplay and storyline, if you play it for the story, it's great. The story is pretty immersive. I do like it. I wish there was more voice acting, but whenever you get a cutscene, the cutscenes are incredibly impressive. So we're just gonna continue our adventure. I love the armor in this game so much, and I recently got probably my favorite armors so far. I haven't paid for a single thing from the shop, which is great, and I'm still getting this nice armor. You can also craft armor, and the crafting is sort of easy to familiarize yourself with. It's that in-depth kind of crafting where you have to create components first before you can create the overall product, which is sort of nice. But I didn't craft this armor. I think I got it from a dungeon, and I absolutely love it. The only thing missing from the two things missing from this game: better and easier, less grindy leveling, and voice acting. Voice acting would have made this game for me completely. I would play this game all the time if it had the voice acting. I'm just not really big when it comes to reading dialogue. I do love how these monsters look though. There is some voice acting, by the way, here and there. It's really not consistent. You don't know when it's gonna come. It's, yeah, a little inconsistent, but I do really like this monster. It's so cute. It has like a ecosystem on its back. A flowwood. The combat in this game is fairly easy to master as well. Although, don't do the group bosses without a group. You will die. Even if you think that you may have out-leveled that group boss. Another thing about this game that sort of made me play it less comparatively to other games that I've sort of taken on is that it's so hard to find a party for group dungeons in this game. What I've been doing is sort of out-leveling solo dungeons, so you can do all the dungeons either solo or in a party. And I think what most people are doing, and I'm starting to do it as well just because finding a group is so much of a hassle. I'm out-leveling a dungeon by like 5 levels, and then I just enter a solo dungeon so I can do it myself, because finding a party in this game is absolutely ridiculous. It does not work whatsoever, at least not at the lower levels. So if you are a newbie or just a super low level character because maybe you've been sort of playing the game slowly like myself, I just gave up. I gave up on finding parties to play this game with. So I think it doesn't help that I'm really introverted, which is why I'm talking a lot right now to fill in space. But, you know, this is not a game for, well, I mean it is. It can easily be a game for introverts. Unlike other MMOs that are not really for introverts, you're sort of forced to play with other people. I guess that's the one good thing about this game. You're not really forced to play with others. I mean, you see them out in the world, but you can avoid them at all costs if you want to. You don't have to do the group bosses, and you can decide to do solo dungeons up until like level 50. So, I guess that's one good thing. Look how cute this monster is! I just love it! I kinda want a plushie. Crocco's Flowwood. So what I am going to try and do is that I am going to try and be a little more consistent with my ASTELLIA videos. It's, again, been a little slow for me because the game progression is a little slow at best. And I'm one of those people where I like to get to the meat of something really quickly, or the heart of it really quickly, which is why Black Desert Online is probably one of my best leveling experiences ever when you go from like 1 to level 20 in 10 minutes. Great feeling, but of course I know that that's not always the case for most MMOs. ESOs, you know, a slow leveling experience as well unless you know how to level up quickly, but at least it's supplemented by various other mechanics that really make the gameplay enjoyable while you're leveling up. Here, I don't know, it just sort of slows down a little bit and you feel like it becomes a grind the more you get into it, at least in my experience. But that being said, this game is gorgeous. I really do enjoy it, and I'm sure once you get to endgame, it is completely worth it. I guess we will find out because I will get to endgame eventually. Hopefully, like I said, I'm going to try and be a little more consistent with these Let's Plays so that we can get there in a more efficient manner. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Look at these little mushrooms. Oh my goodness. They're so cute. I've also been thinking about trying out another character, but I think the slow rate of leveling sort of hinders me from creating alternates. So I did create alternates just because I wanted to create alternates, but I haven't played a single one, and I probably never will. Just the slow progression makes me not want to put the time into it, unless I'm doing something wrong, and that's why I'm leveling so slowly. But I've definitely out-leveled an area or two. Maybe that's why I'm going so slowly. I'm not progressing the storyline as fast as I potentially should be. I guess we'll find out. I feel like Mandragoras are in every game. One thing I did discover, and this is pretty cool, the Estelles seem to have shiny rare versions, which is, I don't know, pretty interesting. I haven't found one, but oh my gosh, I would love one. Apparently there's like a blue version of my Clockwork Estelle here. Or maybe you just get skins, maybe it's a skin, but I swear someone had one and it said rare. With regards to combat system, definitely not the best, in my opinion. It's a little clunky, but you do get some cool moves, and it's not very, it's not straightforward on how to appropriately level up your skills. I mean, I know how to do it. It's just a little overwhelming at best sometimes. And I think I need to fix my hotbars a little bit, clean them up, make them like a little nicer. I'll have to do that at some point. I've been so focused on trying to level at an efficient pace. So what's currently going on is that a lot of the inhabitants of the forest here are being corrupted by some darkness. And so now we're taking out the corruption little by little. Also trying to find the source of that corruption. That's why we have these frenzied flow woods. Probably one of my favorite parts of this game is the autopathing. The autopathing is magnificent! If you've played Black Desert Online and gotten stuck autopathing because maybe it just happened to take you in front of a rock, that doesn't happen here. This game actually autopaths correctly. It's quite lovely. So I'm trying to level up my skills a little bit, or I'm kind of looking into it here. I'm just sort of just doing it, I guess. There's no real mechanism to how I'm choosing it. I'm sort of choosing moves that I know I use most often. They're at the front of my hotbar. They're the first abilities that I generally press. In case you haven't noticed, she is an assassin, and honestly, from what I have played so far, probably my favorite class in this game. Like I said, I did create a few others, sort of check them out a little bit. Warrior is probably my second favorite, but Assassin's definitely a good class to begin with.
I'm sorry.
We're slowly but surely finishing up the quests in this area. Here's that absolutely awesome autopathing. Still gotta get these little stinky mushrooms. Oh no! You can have, I think, up to 3 Estelles out at once, although you have so much power. So if you have more Estelles out, you notice that yellow bar is going down at a rapid rate. If I was to take another Estelle out, it'd go down even faster. And then once that runs out, all your Estelles are on a cooldown. So, but I usually bring out more than one Estelle if I'm in certain situations where it feels like I can't sustain myself, which happens to do pretty often with this class. It's not a good damage mitigator, which is a little unfortunate. I also feel like I need to, at some point, probably upgrade my items, which I know I haven't done in a little bit, but I should. So I'll probably do that at some point. Just taking a little rest. As you can see, there's still a lot of people playing this game, which is nice. I think it's a great game, honestly. As a whole, it is a great game. Ooh, I feel like I've killed so many of these little mushrooms, I'm starting to feel incredibly bad. Man, I like the look of the Flowas though so much. I wish I had one. Here we go. This is what I want. The Spriggan enemy. Flowood. Probably my favorite Estelle aesthetically so far is definitely my Aqua. I forget her name exactly, but she's probably my favorite aesthetically. Looks like a little fish. But at some point, I will show you the best Estelle that I have. He costs a lot. He costs a lot of Estelle power. I feel like I have to rest all the time. I need to clear out my inventory too. I haven't done that in a while. I have all these things in here. All this crafting material. All this junk. So, word to the wise, your inventory is not that big. Definitely clear it out. Inventory management is a bit of a must. I feel really bad hurting these Spriggan enemies. They're so cute. Spriggan enemy Flowwoods. They're just so cute. Look at the flowers on their back. It's like a whole ecosystem that I love. Tell you what though, something about this game, character creation is probably one of my favorites. Next to Black Desert Online, which honestly I only play for the character creation, and I still don't think it's that good. But also, I've recently learned of Lost Soul, or Lost Ark, Lost Soul, Lost Ark. Why did I just mix that up with Echo of Soul? I don't know what that was, but Lost Ark has some great character creation too. But I think ASTELLIA has some quite competitive character customization. Gotta go turn these in. This is the point when I wish voice acting was a real thing in this game. It would be quite lovely. And one of the things that annoys me is that there's a lot of spelling and grammatical errors. And sometimes I have trouble trying to figure out exactly who's talking because who they say is talking makes no sense contextually. I do like the look of these treants though. So again, Forest has been corrupted, trying to find out who or what is behind it. Lumpvine is his name. Lumping is his game.
The plants in the ancient forest are so mysterious.
Also, sometimes it's hard to read this text. It's white text against a bright background. Doesn't work. Definitely selling this junk. I haven't cleaned out my inventory. Oh, sell all. Why am I just doing this one at a time? I haven't cleaned out this inventory in what seems like eons. So it's definitely time to clean it up a little bit. Potentially need to do some crafting sooner rather than later. Get some of this stuff out of here. Because again, the crafting is one of those where you have to create components before you can create the whole product. And in doing so, you fill up your crafting bag real quick. energy bar. That might be useful, potentially.
Silver Arrow Knights will keep
He
this
looks
village
cool.
safe.
He looks like an assassin. I kind of wish that I had a hood. I haven't gotten a hood for my outfit, which is a bit of a letdown. Assassins need hoods. I do like this armor though. I have to say, at a low level, I thought the armor was still incredibly good, which is sort of a first, right? Because when you're a low level, generally the armor just looks bland and unsatisfying to the eye for the most part. Oh yeah, leveled up! Turning this main quest her.
You dare oppose Lady Yuria? You're only
She
hastening
looks
your
cool,
death.
although I don't trust her. Not one bit, not no how. The Karza cult, we do not like them. We do not trust them. Although I kind of like her legs. Check those out. I don't know if that's due to leggings or if that's just her skin, but that's kind of cool. Texturally.
What a poor
Do we
soul,
trust you?
living life in shackles.
Rosanna,
The fastest way to stop the corruption is to separate the Flowwood King from the rest of its group.
They're plants? Oh. Really? They kind of looked like, I don't know, dinosaurs with an ecosystem on their back. They even bear fruit. That's kind of cool. Oh, are we gonna have to go kill the Flowwood King? I feel like I'm gonna feel incredibly bad about this. Are we collecting? Yes, we are collecting more mushrooms. What am I doing? No, collect the mushroom. Just my luck. A frenzied Flowwood shows up right in the spot that I'm running. Oops. Ah! Give me this mushroom. Oh, it's so cute. Just going around in a circle gathering these mushrooms. It's a mighty nice day. Don't you think?
That should shouldn't be enough nauseating mushrooms. Let's go see the Great King now. The Great King lives on the outskirts of the eastern ancient forest. The Karza cult must be behind the contamination of the Flowwood King. Master, you have some serious battles ahead of you.
Of course the Karza cult is behind the contamination. Alright, it looks like we're about to go into a newer area to save the Flowwood King, or, you know, lay him to rest. So it seems like this is a good point where I start signing off for this video. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I love his outfit. It looks really cool. I like the fur. Digging the man bun as well. Looks cool. Not a lot of people can pull that off. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Just be on the lookout for more ASTELLIA.